Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is titled, Why Do People Stare at You? I have three piles for you to choose from, and you are welcome to pick more than one, but please pick using your intuition. After you select the pile, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to give you all a second to pick, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number one. Thank you. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number one. If you chose pile number one, this is your reading. So, pile number one, why do people stare at you? Pile number one, people stare at you because you're unconventional. You don't allow yourself to be trapped by societal standards, societal norms, gender roles, and things like that. You live your life the way you want to, even if that's a contradiction to other people. And what I mean by that is the society that we live in, a lot of people go by social scripts and these rules that aren't actually real. It's just the way this society is and the way it's been created for it to function. And it's like people feel that they have to they feel obligated to follow these rules because they feel like, well, if I don't, I'm not going to be accepted. If I don't, people won't like me. That's not something you care about, pal number one. And that's why people stare at you, because you may be able to go places by yourself and be totally secure and confident. You could go to a restaurant by yourself. You could go to a bar by yourself. You could go to the movies by yourself. You could go shopping by yourself. It's like you have that inner peace and that inner security to know that when you go somewhere, you can enjoy your own company. You are not somebody who's seeking the validation and permission from other people. And that's very noticeable. So that's why people stare at you, because they can tell that you don't need their validation. And they can also tell that you don't really care what they think. Like you have that energy, pile number one, that's like, I don't really give a fuck what you think. Like that's the energy that's coming through. The next card that we have is the earth element. So you could be somebody who's very earthy. Maybe you have like a bohemian style. Maybe you like to wear a lot of like crystals and like stones that come from the earth. Maybe you like to make certain things like that, or you like to wear certain earthy scents like bergamot or like patchouli. Like you like those kind of scents. And that is why people stare, because when you walk past them, they smell a fragrance that they never really smelled before. So on top of you not following social norms, you may also be somebody who makes their own tinctures and perfumes and colognes. So you're very creative and you're also very innovative. This is why people stare at you. I feel with the earth card, you're grounded and it's like you're rooted. So when people try to do like weird things to you, they don't get a reaction because you're so rooted in yourself that you understand that when a person is trying to get some type of energy or reaction out of you, most likely that person is miserable. Most likely that person is unhappy. Most likely that person is hijacked by a lower entity and they're allowing them to do the dirty work. So it's like you have this level of awareness that keeps you grounded. And this is why people stare. The next card we have is the sun. So you could be a Leo, but there's just something sunny about your energy. I feel like your energy shines a light on what people could be doing. Like I said earlier about social norms, like social norms are created because of the society that we live in, not because it's something you need to actually do, not because it's something that's going to benefit you. So with the sun being here, it's like you shine a light on what people in their life need to change, what they need to break free from. Like you have a kind of a rebellious energy in a good way, pal number one. And this is why people stare at you. You shine a light on what's not working. The Ankh could be significant because the Ankh is on this card. So that could be significant. Maybe you have that tattoo or some type of jewelry. Again, jewelry is significant here. So people may stare because maybe you make your jewelry and it may be really colorful. and earthy. So yeah, that is why people stare. With the next card, we have connection. So people may feel connected to you, people may resonate with you, but they may be afraid to tell you this. Pile number one, because you could be like this popular loner, like you're able to stand alone and be by yourself. So some people may feel like they're disrupting your company or your energy by coming into your presence. Like some people, honestly, pile number one, they don't feel good enough to be around you because the way you present yourself is somebody who's very disciplined, you're a hard worker, you're stable, and it's like, they may not be in those places yet and they feel that they can't come around you if they don't have their stuff together. Okay, and that's fair because people do need to have their stuff together before they try to create relationships of any kind with people. But I feel that people, they really want to connect with you, pal number one, but they just don't know how. So that's why you may have people when you go out in public that stare at you because they want to have a conversation. They want to have some type of connection, but your energy could intimidate them. And it's not because of something about you. It's just, again, that light is going to shine on the truth. That's what it is. The light is going to shine on the truth. Okay, one of my favorite spiritualists, her name is Kinsey. I love her so much. Shout out to you, girl. I love her because she literally says exactly what I'm thinking, like literally. And something she said the other day, I'm not going to quote it like verbatim, but what she said was, your light shines on their truth that they don't want to see about themselves. And that was so profound. That's why I love her, because she has profound messages. And it's like, that's the same energy I'm picking up here. Your light shines a light on the truth that people don't want to see within themselves. So, for example, if you go places by yourself, it could be people that want to do that. They may want to have a self love journey, but they're scared because they worried about what other people are going to think or say. You're not trapped by other people's perceptions of you. And that's why people stare. The next card we have is ideal partnership. So another reason why people stare at you is obvious. Pal number one, they want to be in a relationship with you. They think you're hot. They think you're cute. Okay. A lot of people see you as like marriage material. Like people feel that you're not just going to be a typical boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. Like you're going to be wife, husband. And even if you're non-binary, there's going to be some form of commitment with you. Like this is that energy of like tying the knot. So people would want to get married. I feel like people look at you and imagine like what life would be like to be married to you. That may be funny, but people think like this. Okay, I feel like a lot of people have a lot of fantasies about you, pal number one. So when people are staring at you, they're having like a vision of what they wish they could do. So remember when we used to watch like Disney Channel when we were younger? If you watched it and people would like look over to the side and then they'll start to see and imagine what they wanted or a scenario that they want to go in their favor. That's what happens with you. And I feel that some people may not realize that they're still staring at you while they do it, because some people may zone out and it can make you uncomfortable. Pile number one, like I feel that it kind of makes you uncomfortable to the point where you're like, what are you staring at? But it's just because you're so beautiful. And it's not just your physical beauty, it's your energy. Like it's so beautiful and it's felt everywhere you go. Pile number one, it's felt. And it's why people turn to look at you even if you haven't said a word, because your energy speaks volumes. Your energy speaks for you, so you don't have to. Okay. The next card we have is options. So people stare at you because they know that you have a lot of suitors, and they feel that not only that, they see you as somebody, like they can tell you're a boss, they can tell you're ambitious, they can tell you're multi-talented. Like people can look at you and they could say, wow, pal number one has many options in careers, because maybe you're a jack of all trades. You can do different things and have multiple streams of income. So you have abundant possibilities within your life. It's something about your life path as well. That's why people stare at you, because it's like people can just sense that you're destined for something big. They can sense your greatness, and that's why they stare. Also, you may change up your appearance a lot as well, and this is why people stare. The next card we have is called No Need to Do. So why people stare at you is because you have a calm demeanor. Pile number one, like Like I said, you're not really going to give people a reaction because you understand why they're trying to get a reaction in the first place. It's like you're like a psychologist. Okay? You understand human psychology and why people behave the way they behave. It's something about cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Somebody may be interested in that, or occupational therapy. Something with therapy. Okay, your energy is just therapeutic. Let me put it that way. People stare at you because your energy is therapeutic, and when they come around you with that no need to do, it's like people don't feel that they have to put on a front. People don't feel that they have to abandon their true selves to fit in. It's like people feel accepted by you, pound number one, and people, they don't feel judged. They feel that they could just relax. They don't have to put on this performance like they have to do with others. Okay, so that's why people stare at you, because your energy makes them feel comfortable. Your energy is inviting, it's relaxing. There's something about you having a faith as well. Like, you have a lot of faith. You could be a spiritualist or someone who's known to be spiritual, and you inspire people to relax and to enjoy their life and not rush things and allow God to help them make those moves instead of them trying to make it on their own. So you have a lot of faith. And again, it's making me think about societal norms, because on this card it says do this, do that, and then there's fingers pointing in all these directions, and you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't have to do that. That's the energy that comes through, like, I'm going to do me whether you like it or not. Okay, and you are remembered for that. A lot of people remember you for you being you, you being quirky, you being yourself, even if it didn't make sense to other people, but it made sense to you. And it's paying off, and people can see that. Okay, I feel not only is it strangers staring at you, because I was getting this energy for all the piles. It's like it is strangers, but it's people from your past too that see you in public if they live in like close proximity. But a lot of this staring at you is viewing you from social media. Okay, so take what resonates. If you've been feeling that kind of energy, then yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So let's see why they stare, and then we're going to get into the channeled messages. So we have a few more cards left. So hips, okay? Regardless of your body, regardless if you're male, female, or non-binary, like, you have nice hips, okay? People stare at them when you walk. There's something about people saying like, I hate to see, have you ever heard people say like, I hate to see her walk, something like coming, but I love to see her going, something like that. I don't know if I don't even think I'm saying it right, but it's like people like when you, they like looking at your butt when you walk. That's the energy. I'm sorry, fan number one. I was just trying to give you that analogy. It's something I heard a long time ago, but I'm not sure how it's worded. But if you know, put it in the comment section, okay? If you know. But yes, honey, they find you attractive. Okay, you're very sensual, regardless of your body type again. And I say that because a lot of people think of sensuality as like this type of body type, but sensuality is not a body type, it's an energy. Okay. And it's like you have that Venusian energy because you literally have the Taurus and Libra card. So you are somebody who enjoys luxury. So like I said, you could go out to eat by yourself. You could go get your nails done by yourself. Like, you are solo dolo until you find people who are equally yoked. And this is why people stare at you, because again, you have that confidence within yourself, and you're very creative and beautiful with that Venusian energy. You could be a Libra or a Taurus. Take what resonates. But that's why people stare at you. Maybe like people like to watch you eat. Okay. Maybe the way you eat is attractive or sensual to some people when you're really just trying to eat. It's the energy of like, when you're eating like an ice cream cone or like a banana or like a sucker or something. It's like when you eat that, people may stare at you and get like sensual type of visions because of how you're eating something or how you're licking something, when in your mind you're just enjoying it and eating it. You don't even think, you probably won't even be thinking like that. But a lot of people have a dirty mind, pal number one. So even if you're doing something innocently, it's like that person is going to perceive it that way because that's how they take it. And you may get irritated by that sometimes because you're just being yourself and people just are getting so turned on like you're doing it on purpose, but you're just being yourself. Being who you are turns people on, pile number one. That's why they stare at you. Then we have the 10th house, Capricorn. So you could have some type of authority again. You could have some status. There's something about your reputation being known. Okay. And it's like, you are who you say you are. So people may see you in person after they've seen you on social media, and it's like you embody what you're preaching. It's like you're practicing what you're preaching, especially if you do something online. Anytime the 10th house comes out, that's letting me know you're doing something to where you're getting some type of recognition, or where you have some type of leadership position. Okay, that's why people stare at you, because you're a boss. That's Capricorn energy. You could have your own business here. And this is why people stare at you. For some of you, this may be funny, but especially if this is like family, they feel like you look exactly like your dad with the 10th house, because it's the father energy. Some people stare at you because they feel like you look exactly like your dad. Okay, let's get into your channel messages. Okay, I got 4 pages worth, so bear with me. So I was picking up Janae Aiko featuring Mila J on the way. So again, that sensual energy. People fantasize about you a lot. Like, I feel like you do things that are seductive, and in your mind it's just normal. It's not seductive, but it's like the way you move, like your movements are melodic. It's like your movements are like rhythmic and melodic, and you may not even realize this, pile number one, but it's like the way you move. People like that. Okay. If you don't dance, like, there's something about moving your body and dancing. Like, you could be really good at dancing. Okay. Maybe people stare at you while you dance. For some of you, take what resonates. We talked about you being unconventional and not bound by social norms. It's like you're an individual. Pile number one, you don't look like most people, and you don't act like most people. You know, when you go on social media, it's the same. It's like that bust down wig, the lashes, the nails, like, but you are different. You have, and it's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying you can't have that, but we just know that it's a common theme, especially if you go on Instagram and stuff. It's like you have your own type of beauty, pile number one, and that is what makes you stand out, and it's why people stare at you. There's also something about you being able to do the impossible. And you may like to watch horror movies, pile number one, because I was picking up this movie called People Under the Stairs. And if you want to watch that movie, go on Tubi, honey. It's on Tubi. But it's called People Under the Stairs, and it's creepy. But in the movie, there was a scene where the girl had told this boy, she was like, nobody ever makes it out of here alive. Like, nobody makes it out, but he still made it out twice. So it's like you are somebody who can do the impossible. That's why people stare at you. They can sense this from you. Okay. And then there's something about like people thinking about you a lot, because there's this song by Rihanna called You the One. And it's like people would simp for you and do whatever you wanted them to do. Okay. Because they really like you. And then there's something about you wearing like bright colors and neon. Your aura is very bright, something sunny about you. Your skin could glow as well. Like, I don't know if you're Asian or Korean, but that came up. Somebody's ethnicity came up. Yeah, race. But you could, if not, you could follow like the Korean skincare, that glass skincare, because there's something about your skin glowing, and that's why people stare at you. They may want to know your skin routine because they think you have really pretty skin. You could have a sharp jawline as well, blonde hair. You could have highlights. You could be a Leo, or there's something about you being in the spotlight. So maybe you have a YouTube channel or a social media page with a large following. Take what resonates. And you look rich, okay? Even if you feel like you're not, it's like you have this rich aesthetic, okay? And you go to luxurious places. You could be a stylist, or you could be into cosmetology and invested in beauty. So you could be somebody who does their own hair and nails, but the way you do it sets you apart. You dress really nice. You have nice jewelry. We talked about that. Your eyes could be hazel here, okay? Or you could just have pretty eyes. There's something about your lips and the lip gloss you wear, or the lipstick, and that stands out, and that's why people stare, because the song, like, I think it was like, my lip gloss is popping, my lip gloss is cool, something like that. It's by Little Mama. Okay. Some people may feel that you're a part of their soul tribe. Like, some people may feel that they're meant to connect with you. You're very calm. We talked about that. And it's like you're the queen of unbotheredness. It's like it made me think about Omarion when he had that era of being unbothered. You really are that, pal number one. Like, Again, you could go in public and just have weird experiences with people because they're intimidated by your light and your beauty, but it doesn't phase you. Like, you pay people dust and you make them feel irrelevant. That's what Spirit was saying. Okay. And some people may feel that you're spoiled, but you do it all on your own most times, pal number one. I don't really feel like you ask people for help because you like to be self-sufficient, but because you got it like that, you're in your bag. Some people can feel like, oh, somebody's paying for that, somebody's doing that, somebody's financing that, when the whole time it's you. And it can be hard for people to see you outside of a stereotype, okay? Regardless if this is about how you look, like your beauty, your race, your sexual orientation, your gender identity, if you have a disability, it's like people will look at that and stereotype you when you're much more than your physical characteristics, okay? So that's the energy that I picked up for you, pal number one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah. Peace. We're going to move on to pile number two. Pile number two, if you chose this reading, this is for you. Alrighty, pile number two. So pile number two, you have a very similar energy to pile number one. So if you were drawn to pile number one, you could listen to it after this. And if you already came from pile number one, then this is just confirmation for you. So let's see why people stare at you, pal number two. So the first card that we have is Eshu. Okay. So Eshu is one of the Orishas. Eshu is representing like the crossroads, but also Eshu is a trickster spirit. And this is what Spirit was saying. You have a trickster spirit, pal number two, but it's not in a devious way. Because when people hear trickster, they think, oh, you're intentionally trying to cause harm. No, that's not what I mean. Let me describe what I mean by trickster spirit before anybody clicks off or get triggered, because it's not in a negative way, okay? Let me say this. I'm not using the word trickster in a negative connotation. It's actually something that other people like, they deceive themselves by placing certain illusions on you. Pile number one. Oh, see what I'm saying? You definitely are from pile number one, or you need to go. But pile number two is like people place illusions on you, and then when they actually get to know you, they feel like, oh, this person's a little bit of a trickster, but it's not a trickster. It's like you saw me that way, you know? But at the end of the day, it still kind of is that kind of energy, but it's not something you do intentionally. It's not something that you do to like deceive people. It's like other people are deceived by your energy, and it is kind of a trickery kind of energy, but not in a sense of you trying to pull a wool over somebody's eyes. It's just certain aspects about you don't come out, they're not revealed until somebody gets to know you. Okay, so I hope I'm making that clear. So let me give you an example of what I mean by a trickster spirit. So take, for example, like let's say you're somebody who's petite, right? You're petite, and people look at you like, oh, I could easily beat up pal number two and da 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 da, all of that, right? And then they actually get into a fight with you and they end up in the hospital or they end up really damaged, but you didn't leave with a scratch. And people felt like because you were the smaller one, you were going to be the one to be defeated. So it's things like that. Like that's what I mean by trickster. Or let's say you're somebody you're more on the reserve side, like you don't talk to a lot of people, so you may keep to yourself. But when people get to know you, they find out that you're very intelligent, highly intellectual, highly creative. Like they find out all these things about you and it can intimidate them. That's why I was picking up a trickster kind of spirit. And I would say it's a good thing to be underestimated, pal number two. It's a good thing to be underestimated because it's a gift in disguise. Like it may seem like nobody sees me, but it's okay because you're the one that they're going to least expect. Okay, you're the one that they're going to least expect. So that's what I was picking up with this kind of energy here. You may be attracted to like cats and stuff as well, because there's a black cat on this card. You may have a black cat, take what resonates. But yeah, it's like people put these illusions on you and then they're upset when you're not what they thought. You could be a 12th houser, okay? Because this is just very typical for us 12th house people, trust me. The next card is karma. So why are people staring at you? I feel like this is more so on social media. And again, you have to come from pile number one because there is an Ankh. The Ankh, okay? That symbolism is present again. So with this karma card, anytime I get this card, it's letting me know like somebody's getting some form of a consequence for what they did to you. And for you, pile number two, I feel like this is a group of people. I don't feel like this was just one person. This feels like a group of people. You could have people who try to come against you a lot, pile number two, because they think like, don't take this the wrong way, but some people can feel like, oh, this person is an easy target. Let's say you're a kind person, right? Let's say you're generous, you're helpful, but let's say somebody tries to be slick with you and talk crazy to you, and you end up going off on them and hurting their feelings, and then they end up crying. It's like people don't expect you to have defenses, or they don't expect you to have more than what you have. It's like you are somebody who has multi layers in your personality. You're very multifaceted, and it's not something that people see at first glance. A lot of people don't really have the eyes to see. Okay. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah, a lot of people are getting karma because they felt like, oh, I could come against this person. That's why some people may feel like, oh, this person is a trickster. And in a way, it kind of is, because you're underestimated, you know? And it works in your favor though. So don't get it twisted when I say trickster spirit as if it means something negative. Again, it's not. It's just on their end they see it as negative because they tried to label you before they actually got to know you. You're not somebody who is surface level. It's like once people see the depths of you, there's so much to you. And this is why people stare at you. But I feel like this is more so on social media. Like people from your past are staring at you because they're like, wow, I didn't know pal number two was this skilled. I didn't know pal number two had this much support. I didn't know pal number two was that smart. It's like people could have believed, like, let's say you're attractive, pal number two. So people could think, you're attractive, you're stupid, you're dumb. Like that's the stereotype of society, but you're not. You could have had a 4.0 GPA. You could be somebody who's into tech or engineering. You're very smart, but it's like people will look past that because they're looking at looks. Like despite our society that says don't judge a book by its cover and accept people for who they are, they do just that. They do judge you by your cover. People judge you, like I said with the example of somebody being petite and thinking that, oh, this person can't really find me or do anything. And then here's an example too. I was watching this anime years ago. I said this in a reading like a couple of years ago too. So you may be from that same pile if you can remember that far back. But it was like this, I think it's called Magic Ray Earth. It was some type of anime I was watching, and it also was on Tubi. Okay. Don't sleep on Tubi. It may not be the most popular, but they have some good stuff on there, especially like old classics and vintage movies. But anyways, it's like on Tubi, there was this anime I watched, and it was like, I think like three or four girls, and they all had magical powers. And one of them, like, she had this little dog, and she thought that dog was just so cute. And that little dog, when it got mad, it turned into a big dog. But it was so little and cute. So that's what I'm saying, like with that trickster spirit kind of energy. Okay, I just want to clarify that before we go further. But yeah, people are definitely getting karma because they shouldn't have played with you. It's like when you mind your business and stay to yourself, to other people, they take that as a form of a weakness. Like, oh, they don't have protection. And the irony about that is usually when you're somebody who walks alone, you have a lot of protection. You have divine protection. Okay, and that's a different form of protection. That's a different form of protection from the police and stuff like that. Like this is divine. This is the protection from God. Okay, this is that supernatural protection. So people are reaping what they sowed, especially if people spoke on you and said things about you. Because what I'm picking up is like people misjudged you and spoke on you when they didn't even know you. These are people who never had a conversation with you, but looked at you or looked at something you posted and felt like they knew your whole life story. Tragic. Next card is the Ace of Earth. So you know your value, you know your worth. That's why people stare at you. People stare at you because they're seeing your worth too. You could have had a lot of people like they were stuck in these illusions about you, and now they're seeing who you really are, and it's very like shocking for them because it's like you've always been that person, but because they didn't take the time to get to know you and they wanted to judge you, they didn't see your value. But it's like you always seen your value despite it. Despite the naysayers and the haters, you always seen your value. Some of you are making more money. That's why people are staring at you. That's Taurus energy. So this is also pile number one. You may resonate. The next card that we have is Guardian Angel. So yes, you're protected by the divine. Like I said, people can see that. They're experiencing that. They know it's karma. They know because all they can do is think about you. That's how God gets people. God will make a person that did you wrong think about you, so that person can feel guilty and change, so that they're not treating other people like that, and eventually so that they can come clean and apologize to you. But a lot of people are just so stubborn, and they're like, no, I don't want to apologize, even though I did that person wrong. I don't want to. And it's sad, because it's like, well, if you don't want to repent, then you're just going to have to keep going through this karma. So a lot of people, pile number two, a lot of these people are going to be going through karma for years. Okay. Like, your ancestors don't play. Like, your ancestors give people sentences. You know how when people go to prison, they get a sentence for like 25 years, 30 years. It's like your spirit guides are the same way. Pile number two, with people, to where they have karma on them for a certain amount of time until they can change. And most of those people don't change, so that karma stays on them. Okay. Don't reconnect with these people, because you don't want that karma, baby. So with the guardian angel card, it's like, I feel that you turned to the divine when people turned on you, and you started to pour into the divine, and the divine poured back into you. You could be an Aquarius, because there's somebody pouring water in this bucket. So you could be an Aquarius. You're very close to the spiritual world, especially if you had a shoe and the guardian angel. Like, you're very, very tapped in. You're very intuitive too. You can see right through people. That's why people stare at you, because it's like, when you look at them, people can just see that you can see that they're lying or that they're hiding something. It's like, it's very hard to get things past you, pal number two. So that's why people stare at you as well, because they don't want you to know they're lying. The next card we have is inspiration. So this energy came out in pound number one as well. But there's something about your voice. There's something about the words you speak, why people stare at you. Like, you could be somewhere in public, and when you start talking, people turn around, because it's like, your voice may not match how you look. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something about your voice. Like, you could sound different than how people think you would. So some people could think you might have like a super squeaky voice, but your voice is like very, like, it's like wine, and it's mellow, and they're like, ooh, like, people like listening to you talk, especially if you're somebody who likes to make podcasts, or you do something with your voice, whether you're singing or rapping or humming. It's like, people like to hear your voice. That's why they stare at you, especially when you're in public. You can have people all up in your mouth because they think your voice is pretty, or it's something about your voice that's attractive. Especially if you're a man here, you can have a deeper tone, but it's something about it to where it's like, it's sexy to people, and they like hearing you talk. Okay. The next card that we have here is the sixth house, health, Virgo. So you could be somebody who's a health fanatic. Maybe you like to take vitamins, you like to eat organic foods. Maybe you like to make a lot of your stuff from scratch. And this is why people stare at you. Like, when you're in the grocery store, your basket could be full of veggies, full of smoothies, full of fruit and things like that. And you could be somebody who works out, or people see you jogging a lot or walking, because you take pretty good care of your health. Like, I'm picking up somebody who goes to the lake, and they might cycle. You may have a bike, so you may ride your bike, or you may jog, or just walk alongside. Like, you like to go to parks and lakes and stuff sometimes to work out, instead of being in the gym, because it may be over, like, it may give you like sensory overload, pal number two. So you may like to work out in like nature, so you don't have to be that close to people, because you know how it is when you go to the gym. Like, people, they don't understand personal space, even though the gym is big enough for everybody to have their own space. So yeah, it's something about you, like, taking good care of your health while people stare at you. It could be a place you go to very often, like a store you go to, and it's like the person stares at you, because every time they see you, you come in there and you look cute, you look like you're secure, you look like you're happy. There's something about your worth ethic as well, why people stare at you. Maybe people stare at you at your job because you have a work ethic. You have a good work ethic. Okay. Then we have the vitality card. It says, I am healthy and vital and strong. So health is very, very important here. I'm also picking up mental health. So your mental health is something that is very strong and healthy. Okay. Because this it's taking you time to cultivate this. I feel like you've had to put up boundaries and just have a lot of self-reflection, because I feel that in the past, maybe you gave a lot of people access to you, and then you close yourself, and then when you started to have boundaries, you started to experience issues with people. And whenever you assert a boundary, whether or not you vocalize that, If a person gets mad or acts weird, what I've learned is that's not somebody that you want in your life, because if you're going to get mad at me for having a boundary, then we can't be in a connection, because I'm going to have a limitation. I'm not going to be able to be everything or do everything. Some of the things you do, I may not like. And if you respect me, you're going to care. People who just are looking for somebody to help them with their problems, they don't care about that. They want a full-time therapist but don't want to pay you. Like, that's how people are. But it's like you've set boundaries for that. So that's past energy, and you have transcended that. And I pick up people from your past being upset about that. Pile number two. So you may have people who lurk on your page because it's like you have boundaries. Now maybe these people are blocked, okay? They may be blocked. Okay, somebody here could be in the army, or the you could be in a different branch, but it's something about the military. That's why people stare at you. Maybe some people are like, how can you be in the military if you're so attractive or if you're so nice? Like, again, there's something about people seeing you a certain way and not, it's like they're judging a book by its cover, okay? So that's why people stare, because they're perplexed. The next card that we have is Janae Aiko, Picture Perfect. So you could be somebody who takes really good photos. You may be interested in photography and modeling, and you're really good at it. You're really good at like placing the objects in the photos in certain ways, and like, especially if you're the one taking the pictures or if you're the model and people like it. So that's another reason why people stare at you, because they like your social media as well. You may have a really nice aesthetic, a clean aesthetic on social media, and it's just like everything you have on social media, it could be like complementary and like matching. So if your profile picture has some pink in it, you may have your cover photo with pink flowers or something. Like, also, why people stare at you, pound number two, is because you're very color coordinated. When you go places, like, you're very color coordinated. So you could have like a blue jacket with some blue socks. And the thing about you is like they're gonna be different colors. It's not gonna all be the same. Like, and what I mean by different colors is like this: it's different shades of that color. So it's still blue, but you're wearing light blue, dark blue, sea blue, ocean blue, like all together, and it looks really good. You could be like into fashion, and that's why people stare at you. Pound number two. We have eyes. This came out in pound number one. Your eyes could be blue, and that's why people stare at you. But there's something about your eyes, even if it's not blue or your eye color is not blue, it's something about your eyes. It's like some people may feel hypnotized when you stare at them. Like, it's hard for them to not look at you, and that's why they stare. It's like people want to stare into your eyes because it's something about like people looking at you and like entering this new world, and it's like through your eyes though, and it's like when you turn your gaze away, it's like, oh, they're like, oh, I thought I was going into this new world. It's like kind of like the Wizard of Oz to me, that kind of energy where it's like magical or fairy tale like. You have that kind of energy, and that's why people stare at you. It's like they want to get deeper with you, and it's like you can read people's power number two, so you're like, hell no, nah. Back up out my energy. Stop staring at me. I'll pick up this. Somebody here may actually say that. Stop staring at me. The next card is I see you in my dreams. So I feel like this is relating to people from the past. Remember in the beginning of the reading, we talked about people getting karma? Well, this is the karma, honey. That's the karma. They have to keep seeing you. The next card is courage. So you have a lot of courage and bravery. You may be the only one from your hometown to like move and travel and go to college and get a degree. But if not, it's like you took a chance and you lived your life, or you live your life authentically, even if you still are in your hometown. It's like you have the courage to stand alone and be yourself, even when the crowd, it's like you're not afraid to have the unpopular opinion. That's what I'm picking up. And that's why people stare at you, because they wonder like, how can you have so much courage? Like, how can you not care? But you don't. You don't care what people think, because you understand that that's their programming and upbringing. They're going to have those kind of thoughts because they've been trained to think a certain way. And if I'm not in alignment with what they've been taught, I'm okay with that. So again, you have a lot of self-confidence too. And this is why people stare. The next card is manifestation. So people from your past see that you've manifested a lot of different things. So if you told them you wanted to do X, Y, and Z, you've done X, Y, and Z, okay? You've accomplished so much. You could have said, hey, I want to have a YouTube channel, and now you have like 1K subscribers. Or you could have said, hey, I want to have a business, selling cupcakes, and now your business has gone viral. Okay, so there's something about a success that you've had, or a manifestation that you've had, that is becoming a milestone. And you may be celebrating too, and that's why people are staring. Again, this is more so social media I'm picking up. But it also is like strangers and people you see in public in your day to day life. Okay, so just take what resonates. You're good at manifesting. It's like you have an optimistic mindset. You're not very pessimistic, and this is why people stare at you, because they don't understand how you can have a positive mindset in a negative world, but that's your superpower. Somebody here could be a Sagittarius as well. Take what resonates. And don't force things to resonate, okay? Because this reading is for so many people. So if something doesn't resonate with you, it is okay. That's why I always recommend people to book a personal. Alrighty. I'm trying to see where the other cards went. I guess that was it. Okay. Let's read your channel messages, pile number 2. So there's something about you being elegant and graceful. You have a swan energy to you, like a bougie swan, but it's not in a bad way. Okay. It's not. It's not a bad thing to be in a bougie energy. It's just the negative connotation associated with it. There's something about wine and cheese and you being French, or a connection to like France or Spain. Okay. You are graceful even to people who have done you wrong, people from your past. That's what we were talking about. Okay. You have an angelic frequency, you're mystical, you know your worth. And again, we talked about you resonating with pile number 1. Aquarius energy is coming through. You're unique and different. And a lot of people did go against you, but that's why they're reaping the consequences. Okay. That's why they're on your page staring at you, because it's like you're having the time of your life. And if you don't feel like that, you're about to have the time of your life. You have blessings coming in. And all they can do is sit and watch from the sidelines, because they invested all their time and energy into helping you manifest this. That's the irony with gossip. Like, people will sit and speak on you and say, I don't want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. And those things happen for you because that person is putting in time and energy every day to make sure it doesn't happen. And what happens when we think about things we don't want? Most times, if you just keep thinking about it, it happens, right? So, yeah, your haters are your motivators, pal number 2. We got the 12th house and illusions and that trickster spirit energy. A lot of people just misjudge you because a lot of people are shallow. Pal number 2. I don't want to call them dumb. I'm going to just say shallow, because a lot of people are so like, they watch movies and they believe everything that they see in the movie, even though it's a fantasy. I can see if it's an autobiography, but a lot of movies are based on fantasy, not on real life. It can have real life situations in it, but it's not depicting somebody's actual life unless it's like an autobiography or something. And it's like people really do judge a book by its cover. They don't understand that people can have nuances within them, or duality. Like, a person is not this way because of how they look. So you teach people not to judge a book by its cover, and that's why they stare at you. You could take really good pictures, be photogenic. We talked about health and fitness. So maybe you drink a lot of smoothies, or you drink a lot of healthy drinks. You eat a lot of healthy food, and it's something people notice. So when you go places, you may bring like a Stanley cup with water or something like that, okay? You have the Maryland effect, okay? You have influencer vibes. You inspire people to live their best life. There's something about Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish. You empower people with your voice. Your voice sounds really pretty when you speak, or something. It sounds seductive if you're a man. Even if you're non-binary, it's like your voice is very distinct, and it's why people stare at you. Somebody here could be an author or a writer or poet. It's like people stare at you because of that. And you could have been somebody who's been on your self-love journey for a while now, and it's like people want to know where to start. So you may have people wanting to learn from you. You may give off teacher vibes, pal number 2. That's why people stare at you. But that was all I got. Thank you so much. Mwah. Peace. We're gonna move on to pal number 3. So pal number 3, last but not least, let's see why people are staring at you. Let's see. So out of all the piles, this pile has people from the past the most, because what I was picking up was general, like from strangers, people that have been around you, places you go, family. But with you, there's a lot of people from your past, pile number 3, who are staring at you. Maybe you've been around them currently, but if not, like I said to pile number 2, a lot of the staring, quote unquote, is staring at your pictures on social media, or staring at your posts, staring at your progress, etc. So that is how they're staring. So let's see why. So the first card, honey, the 10 of Pentacles. You started out with the 10 of Pentacles. So there's a lot of growth. You've grown a lot from the past. And like what I love about this card, it's like different fruits and veggies, like it's like a farmer's market. Okay, somebody here could like to go to the farmer's market or something, like you grow your own food and it's why people stare at you. Because on this card it's like bananas, apples, rice, potatoes, watermelon, corn. So you could work at a farmer's market and people could stare at you, or you could be really good, like you might have a green thumb and it's why people stare at you, or you have an affiliation to like plants and herbs and gardening and it's why people stare. Maybe you work like at a dispensary and people stare at you there. Take what resonates. Okay. The next card we got is the healer card. So you've been healing yourself, and some of you, maybe you went vegan. That's why people are staring at you. Like you change your diet and it's like you look different, you feel different. It's like you're more alive, pound number 3. And it's why people stare at you, because they see how you've healed yourself. Some of you may have healed yourself with herbs and just eating better and just cutting certain things out of your diet, because a lot of people think it's food that makes us unhealthy, and that is the case, but it's our thoughts, the people we hang around, our habits. It's more than just what we put in our bodies. It's what we put in our minds as well, okay? And people stare at you because you've healed from a lot. You've, with the number 10 being the first card, you've completed a cycle, and that's why they're staring. The next card is the 6 of Pentacles. You're in your winning season, okay? You in your winning season. And you are not in the same places that you used to be in. It's like you have a lot more self-respect and confidence for yourself. And it's like you know what you deserve. You spent a lot of your life giving and giving and giving to other people. And now it's time for you to receive, pound number 3, because you deserve it, okay? The next card is the Star card, which is also healing energy. So you're healing. People from your past see that you're healing. They see that the things that they put you through, it doesn't really phase you. It's not something that you probably even think about or talk about. And if you do, you don't cry when you talk about it. It's like you can talk about it with humor and laugh. It's like you've evolved from these past people and situations, and you're in your winning season. Good things are coming your way, especially if you feed animals. Like the universe is rewarding you. Like if you're somebody who feeds like fish or like um animals that need it, like cats, like stray cats and stuff, or dogs, it's like something about you being connected to animals. Maybe you're a vet, okay, but it's something with you and animals. Maybe you can be like a animal whisperer, pound number 3. You may be like somebody who can understand animals really good, better than people. Okay. But yeah, animals are very significant. Maybe you have a lot of animals and people stare at you. Maybe you walk your dog a lot, okay? I feel like you got a lot of fur babies, pound number 3. And they really love you. And you love them. So cute. Somebody could have a little bunny. Yeah, I feel that you have a deep connection with like animals in the water. So like turtles, fish, whales, dolphins, like those kind of animals. You may like those kind of animals or have those tattooed on you. Somebody here could be connected to like mermaids and things like that. All right. The next card that we have is follow your heart. So you are a person that you follow your heart. Even if other people feel like it's corny, you do what your intuition is telling you to do. Like, for example, this is what I'm picking up. Let's say you go to a party and you're like, I'm about to leave because I don't feel like I should stay. And people are like, you doing too much. Why are you leaving? Okay, bye. And then you leave, and guess what happened? The party gets shut down by the police because somebody was shooting. So you see what I'm saying? It's like you listen to your intuition. That's why people are staring at you, because they're like, wow, like I feel like people can count on their hands a number of times you've tried to warn them about certain people or environments or even a job situation, and it's like they don't listen to you until it happens. Okay? But you definitely follow your heart. There's a lot of reference to water. You may connect with water spirits, pound number 3, or you just maybe you've always loved the water or being near the water. You may live by water, but it's something about water. Okay, you may be a water sign, or you just drink a lot of water, and that's why people stare at you. The next card we have is perseverance. So you've been able to get through a lot of rough cycles within your life, and you were able to do that with flying colors. That's what Spirit is saying, flying colors. Because all it did was just, it made you stronger, but it made you wiser. So you have a lot of understanding for your past self. Pound number three, it's like you've been connecting with your inner child, your inner teen. It's like you are looking at your past self like, oh my God, like I was really that girl. I was really that guy. And if you're non binary, you're like, I was really them. I was them. Because when you look back at your past self, when you've done all the healing, you see that it wasn't ever really anything wrong with you. People was just putting that in your head and creating these negative thought patterns and habits that just didn't serve you. Because when people, you got to understand this, pound number three. When people can see that you're going to be something, and it usually starts in childhood because your family sees it first. They see your light first and they try to distinguish it. Well, not, I didn't mean to say distinguish, but extinguish, They try to extinguish it. And it's like, then you go to school, you have certain teachers, you have certain classmates, and it's just throughout life. And it's like you've healed from that. You don't allow people to project onto you and tell you who you are because you know who you are. You have this inner security, and it's like nobody can shake that. So you may resonate with pound number one as well, because we talked about that too, them being rooted and grounded in who they are. I feel that you've come a long way on your journey, while people from the past are still where you left them. Literally. The next card we have is impermanence, and it's another wave. It's something about you causing waves, okay? Or you are, there's something you're doing to where it's impacting people in a positive way. So that's why people from the past know about it, because maybe they know somebody that really, really likes you. So maybe you're an influencer, or you do something online, or they just met you in person and had a conversation with you and they just love you. And that person from the past is looking stupid because they like, you talking about pound number three? Well, I remember them being like this. And it's like, they're like, no, pound number three is like this. So you see what I'm saying? Like you've changed and evolved, and it's like you're unrecognizable to people from the past. You're not that same person you used to be. You're not a doormat. You're very confident, and you always are like somehow giving out advice through God. It's like you tell people the exact things they need to hear, and that's why they stare at you. With the impermanence and like, it's this water reference, okay? Somebody's a water sign for sure. But with impermanence, it's like you were able to change. Like that state you were in before, it wasn't permanent. The way you used to act, that wasn't permanent. You were able to change. You were able to shift. And that's why people stare at you, especially people from the past. I feel like they may stare at old pictures of you, like that they have of you, and wish that they could be back in your life again and wish that you were that person again. But you don't need to be that person. Pal number three, that served you at one point, but now you have an understanding of what discernment is and who deserves your love and who doesn't. The next card we have is spontaneity. So you could be somebody who likes to do things spontaneously, like you will go and get a piercing spontaneously. You may get a tattoo spontaneously. You may go like to a different state, or you may go to a restaurant you never been to. It's like you're very, very adventurous, and people from the past miss this about you. The name Charlie could be significant, but it's like people really miss that about you. And the name Tara could be significant, but yeah, it's like people really miss that about you. I'm getting names, okay? Somebody's name could be Evan watching this, okay? But it's like Evan or Ebony, okay? But it's like people love how you're adventurous and you go and do things, okay? Especially people from your past, okay? I feel like they wish, if you post pictures about where you go, they wish they was there. That's what I'm picking up. That's why they're staring, because they missed out on something good. Too bad. The next card we have is literally tattoos. So people may stare at you because you have really nice tattoos, or they may be unfinished, but they're really intricate and they have deep meanings. Okay. The next card we have is Aaliyah Try Again. So yes, people from your past literally want to come back. I've been having this energy in my readings for a long time. And I feel that with Neptune moving into Aries over the next 13 years, I feel like my readings are going to be different, because I feel that collectively we were all letting go of people that don't serve us. And it took a long time, but I feel that you are finally being able to let go of these people, and they can feel that. That's why they want to try again. And that's why they stare at you. The next card that we have is Janelle Monáe featuring Miguel Primetime. So people feel like you are in your prime. Like people feel like you are in the spotlight, hence the star card. It's like there's something you're doing to where you're in the spotlight and people can see you and you're shining and you're radiating who you truly are. The person that you really are, not the projections people place on you. It's like you know yourself and they didn't know you. It's like they're relearning who you are, pound number three. That's why they stare. The next card we have is Capricorn. So you have a lot of boundaries with people. Like you don't allow a lot of people into your inner circle. Like you really test people's spirit before they can get super close to you. Pile number three. Okay. And it may make some people nervous and intimidated because they're used to like easy access. But with you, you want something more meaningful. You want something that's gonna have longevity. So you don't just open up to people that quick. And then it's like you only tell people what you want them to know. So I feel like a lot of people want to be your friend. That's why they stare at you, pal number three. But also people from the past want to come back and rebuild the connection that they once had with you, which I don't recommend doing, okay? But to each its own. Yeah, and then the last message is a love message. It says, I want to get married and have a family. I can see myself growing old with you, but I hope you never forget me. I don't want it to be like the notebook in which you forget. I want you to always remember me because I will always remember you. So you're unforgettable to somebody. Pound number three, I really pick up an ex. You could have an ex at this time or multiple exes, okay? Lurking on your page because they're thinking about how good they had it when they were with you. They're thinking about how they didn't see you for who you were, like sometimes like people can get so caught up in trends like, well, my girlfriend is supposed to look like this, and then it's like years later you end up having a glow up and they're like, I should have stayed with this person, but they were too busy trying to have like their cake and eat it too, you know. This is what I'm picking up, pal number three. It's like you always been a baddie. Okay, don't get me wrong, you always been a baddie, but it's like you may used to be shy and hide certain aspects of yourself or dim your light to make other people feel comfortable because maybe there was times where you were confident and people made you feel cocky or they made you feel uncomfortable, so you didn't expose that side of yourself. But now you're shining and you're exposing more of who you are in a good way, and it's like people are so shocked because they didn't know that that was you. And it's the energy of people saying like, well, if I knew that that's how pound number three was, I wouldn't have made that judgment or I would have still been in their life. But you cannot make snap judgments on people and treat them a certain way based on your judgment that you don't have any factual evidence of. Like these people did not have factual evidence of you being a certain way, but they felt like you were because of how they interpreted something you said or did. Whole time they're wrong as fuck. But you didn't need those kind of people in your life. Like rejection is protection, and sometimes when people don't see you, it's not because you're just unimportant. It's because God is protecting you, pound number three. So remember that sometimes when you feel like people don't see you, it's because God doesn't want them to. That's why when you're away from them, they can see you because they're not in proximity to affect you. Sometimes God can see the people who are going to block your blessings or try to take it for themselves, and it can feel hurtful when people don't see us, but it's a favor sometimes. Okay, those were all the cards. Pile number three. Let's get into your channel messages and then we're going to end this reading. So we talked about water. The song by water, the song, yeah, the song Water by Tyler is very significant. We talked about water. You could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The color blue is significant. The lapis lazuli crystal is significant. If you don't work with that, I recommend it. It's going to help you express yourself more if you have trouble opening up that throat chakra. But for some of you, I don't feel that you have an issue, but if you do, go ahead and get it. There's something about you being a truth speaker. So that would make sense because lapis is that crystal of truth and it's connected to the throat chakra and it's also blue. Okay. So it says, you are not afraid to say something like, pile number three, this is a scenario I get with you. If you're in a restaurant and some food is nasty, you kind of act like Gordon Ramsay. He does not hold back when something is nasty. Watch Kitchen Nightmares on YouTube. He does not play. And it's like you could be a Scorpio. That makes sense because that's water energy. But he's very honest. And you could be somebody who's like that. And that's why people stare at you because you speak your mind. Okay. You could have just had a Saturn return because Saturn matured you. There's something about you having this glow up and being more mature. We had Capricorn energy as well. Okay. You're getting good karma. You're reaping your harvest. Okay. There's something about gardens and herbs, aromatherapy, essential oils. That's why people stare at you. Maybe you buy a lot of that stuff and people wonder what you do with it, or they wonder how you can just make it on your own because some people are so like reliant on the stores that they rather go to the store because they feel like it's more trusted and safe than making it at home, which is backwards. It's more trusted and safe when you make it yourself and put your own intentions in it rather than buying it from a company. But like I said, to each its own, right? You've healed from the past. You could use a lot of herbal remedies, or spirit is saying that you should start using herbal remedies, okay? You have a really good memory. And people from your past, they don't like that because it's like, dang, pal number three still remember that I did that in third grade? Yes. They will always remember that. And it's not like you remember it to like hold a grudge. You remember it to like, no, this is the kind of person you are. Because I'm hearing when J. Cole was like, fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. And it's like you refuse to be in that energy to where a person can swindle you again. Okay. It's something about access being denied. You don't allow everyone in. Your circle is a lowercase o. You have a long block list. Okay. People are scared to be on your block list. Like, pile number three, you don't notice how much power or magnetism or influence you really have because a lot of people want your validation. A lot of people seek it. Like, you could have your sun in the 10th house. And again, the 10th house is coming through. That's Capricorn energy. And we had that energy already. So it's like Saturn is definitely playing a role in your life right now in a very positive way because it's like you have this celebrity kind of energy to where people want to know about you. Everybody's trying to see what's going on with you, but you're so private. So it's like people don't really know what's going on. Okay. You could also love like Y2K. I got a lot of channel messages, y'all. I'm sorry. You could also love Y2K, like the early 2000s era, the music or the fashion. And this is why people stare at you. People want a second chance with you. That's why they stare. And a lot of people care about what you think about them more than you realize. Okay. Especially if it's like in laws or coworkers. Okay, we talked about the tattoos. Ooh, pile number three. This is what I was also picking up. There are people in relationships and commitments that want to be with you. Okay, so you might go in public and it's a couple and you like, why do they keep on staring at me, or why do this person keep staring at me? Because they want to be with you. Period. But we don't do that over here. So you better find somebody who's single. Pile number three if you're single. Okay. You're very unforgettable. You could have really pretty nails or toenails. There's something about your pedicure and your manicure. You really keep yourself looking nice. You could be very adventurous. We talked about that. Somebody here could love like roller coasters, arcades, or amusement parks. Take what resonates. And you make people feel nervous with your energy. Like you make people nervous with your beauty. So when you go somewhere and you order something, it's like people may get stuck because of how beautiful you are or how they perceive you to be. I feel like you're very, very chill, but people may think, oh no, pal number three is gonna do this and do that. Like, let me tell you, this is how people think you're gonna act. Have you seen that movie called Monte Carlo with Selena Gomez? And it's like in the movie, she has a twin or a woman that looks like her, and it's like she's different. Like she's a little bit more brash and blunt. It's like people expect you to be like that, but you're not. You know, you're actually kinder than people expect. And that's why they stare at you. You have a no nonsense kind of energy though. So that also makes people nervous. People from the past feel like you left them behind. They miss being a part of your life. We talked about that. Somebody here could be from New York City, the Bronx. You really look good in gowns or dresses. Like you look good in like long coats and things like that, like things that garments that hang down, whether you're male, female, or non-binary. You look good in that to people and they stare at you when you wear that kind of clothing. There's something about a penthouse. So somebody here could have a penthouse. You have that kind of energy where people think that you're super rich as well. We talked about that in another pile, so you may come from that pile. Just looking at your channel messages and seeing if there's anything I missed. Somebody could be from Texas because you know when Megan was like, I'm in my prime, that made me think about that. Somebody could be from Texas here and that's why people stare at you. You could live by the water as well. You look beautiful by the water if you take pictures by the water, okay? But those were the channel messages. Thank you so much for tuning in, pal number 3. Until we meet again. Mwah. Peace. Thank you.